Hello and welcome to the brief walkthrough guide for how to get the most out of Accounting for Business, an integrated print and online solution by Peter Scott. This book delivers a complete solution to teaching accounting, offering students numerous opportunities to revisit, reinforce, and revise their understanding through the provision of a free online workbook fully integrated with the chapter material. The resources in the online workbook have been specifically designed to support students throughout their accounting studies. References within the textbook indicate the relevant resource accompanying that section or topic. This is highlighted using the mouse symbol in the margin. There are an average of 20 workbook references in each chapter. The student is then directed to go to the website to interact with the online workbook and complete exercises, attempt questions, or view short videos, all relating to the content being discussed. We'll now take a closer look at the online workbook. Within the online workbook, resources are arranged by chapter and divided into the following headings: summaries of key concepts, multiple choice questions, numerical exercises, go back over this again, and show me how to do it. Students can work their way through the resources as directed by the book, or they can use the workbook independently of the book for later revision. We'll now take a more in-depth look at these resources. The first resource we'll look at are the numerical exercises. The numerical exercises enable students to practice techniques that have been explained or demonstrated to them in the textbook. Most of these exercises are completed in Excel. The spreadsheet is embedded within the page, so it can be completed without leaving the workbook, and can also be opened in Excel for additional functionality or saved for use offline. As an example, this exercise directs students to rebalance a statement of financial position for another company. The student is provided with a list of transactions which need to be entered into the correct column in the statement of financial position, and then the balance is checked. Once all of the transactions have been entered, the answer can be checked at the bottom of the page. This brings up the correct statement, along with notes providing further explanation of the transactions. The completed statement can also be opened in Excel and saved for further reference. Every exercise includes a reference back to the relevant page in the book so that students can refer back to the chapter to help them complete the exercise. As students read through a section, at regular intervals they are invited to go back over this again by using a variety of features to reinforce their understanding. This resource contains a mixture of further examples, written exercises, true and false questions, drag and drop exercises, and annotated accounting information. Further examples for this chapter include a statement of financial position taken from the book. Two versions of this are provided: the original version from the book and an annotated version which explains the headings and lines of the statement of financial position in more detail. Many of the activities in this section ask the student to consider accounting questions about a variety of business situations. Information is provided about the business, and the student must consider this and apply what they have just learned from the book to answer the question. Some of the activities require the student to complete a table within the workbook, and some just ask them to think about or make notes on their answer. They can then reveal the answer, as well as useful notes on the process the students should have used to arrive at this conclusion. Page references are again provided so students can go back and check their understanding in the textbook. The next exercise shows an example of the drag and drop questions. Instructions are provided at the top of the page, along with information the students need to use to complete the exercise. In this example, students are asked to determine whether each non-current asset in the list is an intangible non-current asset, an item of property, plant and equipment, or a non-current asset investment. Clicking Start Now begins the exercise, and students can then drag and drop each non-current asset into the appropriate columns. Once satisfied with the positioning of each asset, they can click the tick in the bottom right, and the non-current assets will change color: green for correct, red for incorrect. Hovering the mouse pointer over the red answers will prompt a pop-up to appear explaining why the answer is incorrect, provide a page reference to the relevant section of the textbook, and show where the assets should have been positioned. This next resource is the Show Me How to Do It presentations. A range of videos are available in the online workbook with relevant prompts from the textbook. These allow students to watch practical demonstrations of more complex accounting tasks as they are tackled by the author. These videos are accompanied by a voiceover and direct students back to the textbook where appropriate to reinforce their understanding. In this example, the author walks through a statement of financial position and explains why each line is an asset, liability, or equity. There are 14 of these videos in the online workbook. In this next resource, key glossary terms from the topic currently being discussed in the chapter are provided in an interactive flashcard format. As you can see, clicking into this resource immediately brings up the first term in the glossary. Students are directed to write down everything they can remember about a particular term or concept. Then, to see the definition or summary, they can simply click Flip Card, and this pops up. They can then click the next arrow to bring up the next term. The terminology is ordered numerically by default. However, students can click the Shuffle button at the bottom to randomize the order in which they pop up. Cards can also be dropped from the glossary if they are satisfied that a term has been committed to memory. The glossary resets when you leave and come back next time, and can also be reset using this button. At certain points in every chapter in the book, the author has put together a selection of self-test questions for students to use to test their knowledge as they progress in their learning. The questions are accessed in this area of the workbook, and they can be worked through at the student's own pace. Students can check their answers on a question-by-question basis. As you can see, if the student answers incorrectly, instant feedback is provided as to why their answer is incorrect, along with a page reference from the textbook, so they can go back and revise the topic in more detail. Students can retake these questions as often as they feel they need to ensure they've gained a full understanding of each topic. This concludes the walkthrough for the online workbook when used in conjunction with Accounting for Business, an integrated print and online solution by Peter Scott. Please speak to your local campus representative for more information or to order an inspection copy of the textbook. Thank you for your time.